Hi, I'm Brett Odgers from the No BS book writing course. Probably the number one thing which people ask me is how do I know what to write about? How do I find out what my genius is? How do I put that all together? Well, you know what? We've got a model of how we do this book writing course. It's really well thought out in terms of how to get the most impact, visibility, and credibility for you in your marketplace, as well as making it very, very easy to write a book. So let me talk you through the model. It's the genius model of writing your book. And I guess where I start in every case is what's the outcome? When all of these three areas, when your book is just perfectly aligned, what's the sweet spot? And that's this little A right down here. That's the authority. That's when you're considered an authority in your marketplace. That's when people are attracted to you and when they give you opportunities because you've become a leader, a thought leader, a global leader, a local leader by putting your ideas into a book. Now, when you are an authority, there are a couple of really clear outcomes, and those outcomes are here. And we say that when you become an authority, when you write a book, when you become a leader in your community, what you do is you have increased visibility, you have increased influence in your market and in your community, and it increases the leverage in terms of the work that you'd like to do and the impact that you'd like to make. Now, if that's in your business, that's brilliant. It dramatically increases the leverage within your business. Okay, in order to achieve these things, we focus on three primary areas. What are they? The first area is your content, your intellectual property and your ideas. Now, a lot of people say, well, I'm not an expert in anything. You know what? You have a unique story. The journey of your life is your intellectual property, and there's a lot to learn from that. We're going to show you how to structure that and how to create just great stuff for your book that people are really going to want to read. The next thing that we're going to learn is storytelling. Now, one of the most profound aspects of writing is learning to tell stories. It's how information is translated from generation to generation. And your story is more powerful than you think. So we're going to find your voice and your story around what your book is so that you can have that influence, visibility, and leverage. Now, the third area that we look at is the actual publishing and distribution. So turning this story, these ideas into life, into something that's tangible, that can be published, put out on Amazon, that's the third pillar. Now, in each of these pillars, we have a number of projects, and that's what these are around the edge. But let me first have a look at what happens if we don't get these pillars right. This is typically what happens. Now, if we don't get the content right, then you have no clarity and you're just writing ideas that don't really come together as a cohesive whole. They're not as influential as you'd like to be without some real planning around that content. Now, if you don't get storytelling right, well, then you lose connection. This is where you connect with your audience and the people that you want to help. Now, publishing and distribution, if you don't get that right, then what we're really looking at is no chance to be seen and no chance to get your message out and about. So that's what happens if you don't get it right. All right, now we know what happens if we don't get those right. Let's have a look at the projects that we'll actually be working on in the course itself. The first pillar here on content, the three projects that we will be working on are planning and structure. The structure and finding your niche is so incredibly important. That's where we have our game plan session and we get that all out in place. We're going to give you some really cool writing techniques. Some of the techniques are where you will be writing yourself. Sometimes you might be talking into a digital recorder and having someone transcribe it. We even have ghostwriting options for you. We have all sorts of ways of writing. There's no reason for you not to get your ideas out there. Now, the third element here, the third project, is turning your book into business. How do we actually set it up so that it's actually going to position you for really great business? That's the third project. Now, down here under storytelling, let's have a look at what the three areas are. The first one is using story graphs. That's a very, very simple way to create stories. It's from screenwriting, which I'm a former screenwriter, and this is a technique which is so simple, anyone can use it, and it's very, very cool. The other thing is how we create models from what you do and what your content is, in order to help people understand how to apply that in their lives. Now, the third one down here, and it's a little bit upside down, it's personalisation. Let me turn it the right way up for you. It's personalisation. It's how do we put emotion, heart, and great story into your storytelling. We've got some fantastic ideas and concepts to be able to teach you around that, to make that really, really simple. Now, publishing and distribution, let's have a look at that. The three areas here are, let's get ready for printing. I want you to be able to print copies of your own book and give them out to clients or prospects or sell them yourself. That's really important. And as well as publishing on the digital sites, Amazon and other stores. We want people to be able to buy your book anywhere they are in the world, and we will set you up to do that quite simply. Now, the other element of publishing and distribution is turning this into electronic media. Now, electronic media means all sorts of stuff, from audio books to programs that you can sell, all sorts of things. But that's a really big part of publishing and distribution, and we need to set that up for you in the book writing phase. So this is the genius model of what we'll be working on in the book writing program, and this is how we're going to bring your ideas to life. This is how we're going to help you become a real leader in your marketplace and give you real authority to stand out from the crowd, to have great visibility, influence, and leverage in getting your story out there. Welcome to the genius model of writing your book.